Nearly 40% of New York City's subway fleet is comprised of trains constructed before 1990. These cars are called SMEs, and while they have their charm, they are undeniably outdated. This isn't simply a consequence of age, but rather a result of the transit authority's reluctance to embrace modernization. With some of these cars nearing half a century in service, their appearance and functionality remain largely unchanged. The same old hard-to-hear PA systems, dim lighting, and inefficient traction motors. While other cities like London are seen retrofitting its older cars with AC traction and new passenger information systems, New York struggles to keep its fleet clean, let alone integrate it with new advancements. Well, that's the point of this video. To explain the benefits of retrofitting existing subway cars with newer tech to bring them into the modern era and help passengers better navigate the labyrinth that is the New York City subway. Let's get into it. Lighting plays a big part in making an environment feel welcoming, and the MTA has a hard time realizing that. Our SME cars have older lighting that is more yellow and dim, and while I prefer this type of lighting, probably because I prefer the SMEs over the new techs, majority don't, and it makes the cars feel much older than what they actually are. The recent introduction of LED lighting represents a step forward, but the ubiquitous blue-white glow fails to create a welcoming atmosphere. By incorporating warmer hues, the MTA could alleviate eye strain and cultivate a more inviting environment for passengers. Beyond lighting, another way to improve our rolling stock would be to retrofit them with better passenger information. Currently on the SMEs, the only way for you to know your train is being rerouted is through a muffled announcement over the PA.
Beautiful people on this train. Next stop is 125th Street. This is your last chance. To transfer to the uptown Bronx bound. 4 and 5 trains across the platform.
You get what I mean. When the first new techs entered service in the early 2000s, passengers voiced their appreciation for the louder, more informative announcements and multiple screens. This should have been a sign to retrofit the existing fleet with this technology. Instead, over 20 years later, we have 50-year-old cars with broken PA systems and roll signs that have to be manually scrolled, which prevents the train crew from being able to change the roll signs on the fly in the event of a service change. Now, when talking about fitting our older cars with the newer technology, I'm not only talking about the SMEs. They're easy to use as an example, but this conversation applies to all of our subway cars, including the new techs. Now, the issue isn't as bad with the new techs because they already have a lot of useful tech, like automated announcements and overhead information screens. But what if I said we could have more? Those new LCD screens in the cars? Why only display ads on them? Why not also use them to show service changes? Let's say there's an issue on the 7 line and your train gets rerouted from the local to the express. What if the screens on the train told you exactly what was going on and possible alternative options to get to skip stations? What if a live subway map appeared on the screens to show passengers the current status of the system? Why not display transfer options and elevator status on the screens? We have these new screens on the trains for a reason. Why not use them in a more useful way? Transit could also consider replacing the strip maps with the new R211 style find screens, which would deliver passengers with even more useful information like bus transfers and exit locations. All of these improvements could extend the life cycle of our cars and keep them updated with advancements in technology. This video was inspired by Transport for London's refurbishment project for the 1992 stock on the Central Line. Those cars are receiving new passenger announcement systems, AC traction motors, LED screens, and more. Seeing that really told me that we could do so much more with our subway cars. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video and you would like to get more from Mystic Transit, like, subscribe, and consider supporting me through channel memberships or super thanks. Special thanks to Damien's Transit and Health Bar videos and RC from the NYC for supporting me at the train operator tier. Also, a final message, I'll be reforming channel memberships soon, so if you're interested, definitely check that out with the link in the description below or by clicking the blue join button next to the subscribe button.